what kind of insights would you love to share with the guys, let's say like 3 or top 5 of what we have to make attention to for the paid ads or for organic growth, especially for e-commerce brands? Because most of the guys and girls who listen to us, they are or in e-commerce somehow or the e-commerce brand owners. So what kind of suggestion could you give for them? Like top 5, 3 points.
So for me, I have to think about content in kind of like 2 buckets, because I have the content that we create for media, and then we have the content that we create for our clients. So I'll kind of address both of them. So I'll start with clients. Most of our clients are e-commerce brands. They are selling physical products for the most part. We have started with some info products recently. So people selling courses and stuff like that. Some actually pretty big names in the space. Very exciting stuff here at 4Media to move into that area. But I've mainly been working on the e-commerce client space the whole time. That was always the service that my department offered. And I think when I first started, a lot of content was a lot simpler, and it's only gotten more and more advanced as time goes on. But I think it was a lot of unboxing videos, very simple. You can imagine those old drop shipping type videos where it's just simply someone using the product sped up or something. It was very simple stuff. And I think for client content, for e-commerce brands and stuff like that, one thing that you really have to think about is from a marketing mind, where is your customer coming from, and reverse engineer from there. So a video that's going to work as an Amazon ad is not going to necessarily work as an Instagram ad, because, for example, Amazon, the ads show up in the search. So someone is searching for, let's say, protein powder on Amazon. Your ad is being displayed between all the other protein powders. So you need to make something that's going to differentiate your brand from all the other protein powders in terms of quality and price. If you're showing something on Instagram, they weren't necessarily searching for protein powder. Maybe their sophistication level is a little bit lower. Maybe they don't have a protein powder that they're using right now, or maybe they are open to switching. So that ad needs to feel very different. The person that's on Amazon is being intentional about shopping right now. They're on Amazon. They're looking for a deal. They're looking for something specific. And on Instagram, maybe they're standing in line at Starbucks and they're just bored and they're opening their phone. So you need to think about that type of mentality of the viewer and then reverse engineer your content from there so that you can actually respect them as the viewer and not just think that you can just throw anything in front of their face and they're just gonna press buy. You know what I mean? Especially now, people are getting very used to buying things online, and we're creatures of habit, right? So if you're used to buying things a certain way, you can't just expect that people are gonna just buy the way that you think they're gonna buy, or buy the way that you want them to buy, or whatever. So I'd say that's the biggest thing, is just thinking about the platforms and the placements of the ads themselves, and what type of person and what type of environment and what type of mindset is that person in to actually go and purchase that product. And you also have to address their sophistication levels. For example, I was thinking about this the other day. We have a new client that's a hair loss supplement. It's not like people don't know that hair loss supplements exist. Everyone knows that there's hair loss supplements and hair loss, not necessarily supplements, but shampoos and all kinds of stuff for hair loss. So knowing that your viewer probably already has heard of hair loss stuff, what are you going to do to differentiate yourself from the market? Is it the product itself? Are you selling the same generic shit that you can buy at CVS and Costco? Or are you selling something proprietary? And so just really like digging into the psychology of who's going to watch it. And I think that's where a lot of content creators go wrong, because I think that there's a lot of people that are really good at marketing, but kind of suck at making content. And then there's people that are really good at making content, but have no idea what is actually going to be important to show. So for example, if you have a product and one of the key features is really, really cool, but you don't show that feature of the product until the very end of the ad, that's kind of pointless. You're wasting that opportunity to show off the coolest thing of your product. So I always think about, if I was telling my friends about this product, what's the first thing you're going to brag about? What's the thing that you're going to say to them that's going to make them excited about whatever you're going to tell them about? That needs to be addressed in the very beginning of the video. I think everyone kind of knows at this point, at least in the marketing space, about hooks of videos. Your hook of the video needs to be the most thing that you think about the most, because especially on all these platforms that you can immediately swipe away an ad like as soon as possible, it doesn't really matter what the rest of your video is. If the hook is not enticing them to watch the rest of the video, they're not going to watch it. So the hook is the most important thing, and make it something that not only captures their attention, but lets them know that what you're about to show them is something that maybe they haven't seen before, or something slightly addressing something at a different angle, or whatever the case might be. So I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to marketing fundamentals and thinking about actually who your customer is and how they are seeing that content. Going over to the internal side, I think you can kind of apply this to a lot of service-based companies and companies that are not necessarily selling a physical good, but they're selling something. Maybe they're selling consulting. Maybe you're selling a service, like you're an agency owner and you're selling these services. It's a lot more challenging to create ads for those that are just, the ads have to be very different. So if you're doing paid ads, you're probably going to have to talk on camera. You're probably going to have some kind of spokesperson. You also might have to have some animations or at least text on screen to help educate the customer to figure out what it is that you're actually going to help them with. And I think the biggest thing there is, again, addressing the customer, not just telling them that you're going to make them money. That's, I think, one of the easiest and like most low-hanging fruit is, how would you like to make $10,000 extra a month? Like everyone on planet Earth thinks that, yes. But I think everyone has seen those hooks before and it's too good to be true. It feels like a scam. It feels like whatever. So they're just like, no, I don't care what you're telling me. I've heard it before and I've been burned in the past. So go away. But if you said something very specific to your audience, so let's say you're an agency that specializes, again, let's go back to the automotive industry, addressing a very specific problem with the automotive industry, speaking their language, so the customer on the other end, which is, again, another business, they understand that not only do you understand their industry very fully to the extent where you can address their specific pain points, but not only that, give them an irresistible offer. What is the offer that you're going to give them in that video that's going to make them actually be enticed enough to give you a call or fill out your form or go to your landing page or whatever the case might be. So not just like, are you this guy? How would you like to make this much more money? It's like, yeah, but whatever. But if I said, are you this guy? Do you deal with this every day? Does this piss you off? Does this get them in those like really very specific pain points?
That you feel them.
Exactly. They're going to be like, wow, this guy really understands my business. This guy really knows what's going on in the automotive industry. Do you hate when clients want paint protection film, but actually they really want ceramic coating? Something like that. I don't know. But something where they realize that not only are you speaking directly to them, but you're also speaking their language, their lingo, and you're addressing their exact problems.